Hi, I'm Vinny, and I'm a passionate Bitcoin expert. Passionate, as you can see. Let me explain Bitcoin to you in simple terms that you will understand. And my free Bitcoin Basics workshop. It's on Zoom. I'll see you there. We were trying to film today. Guys, what's the crack? Crypto Genius Vinny here. We were trying to film some ads there earlier. And that's sort of how the marketing people tell you you're meant to talk when you film ads. Takes me about 1 million takes to do something as short as that. I even have it written down, look. It's only like 3 lines. I'll tell you one thing, of all the things I can do, I know I couldn't be an actor. I can get on and waffle on the live, but try and get me to read out 2 lines that are written down and without a teleprompter, not a hope. Have you seen the church today? Ah! I'll have to bring something to your attention. I'll have to bring something. Hold on there now though. Guys, what's cracked in here? Happy whatever day this is. Happy Australia Day. Any Aussies listening? Good times in Australia as a young buck on this day. But I just want to talk to you briefly about charts and indicators and stuff like that, because one of the barriers to entry. By the way, if you're following me on Instagram and I put it on Facebook, I will get the cigars out later if enough people share that Instagram story. I don't think anyone has ever shared one of my Instagram stories. So my mission is to get an Instagram story shared. So let's say if I get 2 of those that Instagram story shared with the cigar video, I will get the cigar out later on. I'll get the box of cigars out and I'll show you the crack. I'll explain Bitcoin using a cigar and show you the value of Bitcoin using a cigar. And yeah, so do that. Go and share that video if you're on Instagram. We'll do that because I've never had a story share on Instagram. So today I want to talk to you about charts and why it's all a load of nonsense. What do you mean, Vinny? You can't say that. Sure, all the lads log on every day screaming at you with crosses and X's and feckin' lines going here, there and every which way. Well, I'll just give you my take on it. And you can take it, you know, as just one person's experience. So we can get involved in what's called technical analysis, which is looking at charts, and charts are, you know, meant to be a reflection of human emotions, and human emotion is predictable, and then we can see it in charts. So we can sort of predict short-term market movements. Happy days. Brilliant. If you want to listen to people talking about charting all day, go for it. There mustn't be much else happening in life. Alright, but I don't. I'm a busy man. I've stuff to be doing. I've walks to be having, mountain biking, gym sessions. Do you know what I mean? I like my investments just work. So your traditional crypto investor, what they do is they wake up in the morning, okay, and they check the price of Bitcoin. Most crypto investors will do that because the whole market revolves around Bitcoin. What Bitcoin does dictates what the whole market does. So that's why being short Bitcoin is crazy, because everything revolves around Bitcoin, and whatever you own, Bitcoin can succeed and that can be left behind. So you take on a lot of risk if you're short Bitcoin. You don't have to be all Bitcoin, but being short Bitcoin and being a zero Satoshi holder, very risky. Just from my experience over the years and coaching people who went that route, and 3 years, 4 years later have nothing to show, being in the highest performing asset class in the world. Okay, so we get up out of bed, we check the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's after going down 10%, 5%, whatever it did. Then what we do is, there's 2 types of investors here. This is where we diverge. Okay? And I digress. I don't even know if those words make sense. That's wrong. Dyslexic as hell. I'm having the crack. But this is where we diverge. Your technical analysis, crypto trader, short-term thinker, altcoin, degenerate, non-Bitcoin accumulator, will go on to crypto Twitter, crypto YouTube, and look for some bad news that will reflect why the price of Bitcoin came down. Okay? And they'll find it and they'll go, ah, yeah, that's why, sure, that happened, X, Y, Z. Fantastic. Alright? Then there's your second type. Who's Leo, lads? Where am I meant to be? Your second type, okay, which is what I am. I'm an investor. Alright? I don't need to look at the charts. I don't need to look at the short-term news. I've done enough diligence on Bitcoin. I understand the asset. I know that every piece of FUD that I might hear tomorrow has already happened. We've been there already. This is not new. Bitcoin has crashed many times. Bitcoin has been banned many times. Bitcoin has been going to zero many times. But if you're new, it's like, feck! What's happening? I need to check the charts, I need to check the news, okay? But eventually you evolve from that. And you go, Bitcoin's down. Happy days. When am I dollar cost averaging? Jesus. Tomorrow, lovely stuff. I'm getting cheap Satoshis. And that's it. You move on with your day then. Life's done. So one type of crypto investor has to constantly be watching news, watching charts, looking at all the short-term noise. It's just volatility. It's just noise. Bitcoin is number go up technology. That's why we own it. It's not number go up technology tomorrow. It's number go up technology over periods of time. That's why we own it. So we don't need to do all this charting. You can do it if you want. If you like making life hard for yourself, chart. Wreck your head. Look at feckin' crosses and X's and draw lines here, there and everywhere and try and make sense of it all. And then look at bad news and FUD. But if you just want to be an investor and get exposure to an asset class that's growing like nothing else we've ever seen, adoption is 120% a year. The internet was only 60. So obviously there's going to be volatility. But you know, if you want exposure to that asset class, invest into it. Ditch all the noise. Don't worry about the charting. Chasing this pump and that pump and the next coin. And like, I'm not trying to rub salt into wounds here, but every single cycle, when there's a pullback, when there's a dump, when there's a crash, the people who are overexposed to all these pump and dump altcoins, you know, some of them are scams and some of them are pretty close to scams. They learn their lesson and they learn it the hard way because they're like, feck, I'm down loads of money. And they're 80% down. It's a long way back from 80%, guys. You don't just go up 80 and it's all is good. It doesn't work like that. You need to go back at hundreds of percent to recover from an 80% drawdown. Alright? And every cycle when we have these crashes, people learn that lesson. Alright? I'm not interested in that crap. Oh, I shouldn't say that. It's daytime. I'm not interested in that. I just use my strategy. Once I set it up, it's done. I met a fella yesterday within a private consultation. We automated a strategy. We met for a couple of hours. We set everything up. We automated it. He doesn't really have a clue. And I'm like, you know what? You're probably going to outperform most crypto investors by just setting this thing, automating it, and maybe check it once a month. Or not. Check it once every 6 months. Happy days. This is how the successful, the people who have had success, previous success, obviously, the past performance doesn't equal the future, but in the past, the people with this strategy, the DCA strategy, the set it and forget it, the not take part in daily noise, the not look at the fundamentals and start screaming and shouting and trying to time the market, they've had success. They've been able to ride through the volatility. In fact, they didn't even notice there was volatility. They were living their life, they were earning money, doing what they're good at. Do you know what I mean? Guys, that's why I don't really, when people send me things about charts and go, Danny, what do you think it is, X, Y, Z? I'm like, you want to waste your time and all that stuff? Go for it. Have the crack. But it's not for me. I'm not a short-term trader. I know that 90% of traders lose their money over the long term. 90%. There's a gun. 9 bullets, 1 empty chamber. Pull the trigger. I'll give you 20 grand. Would you take the shot? Would you take it twice? Keep you filtered. So I don't, because I'm not an intelligent trader. I don't need to be. I've reached my financial goals by being an investor. Not just in crypto. Well, investing is patience. Investing means volatility is your friend. And investing means when there's blood on the streets and everyone's crying, I'm buying. Anyway, not financial advice, that's just my strategy. A couple of little dinny bombs there. If you like them, if you love them, hit the like button. And it's awesome when we get shares. I really appreciate some of you guys share the stuff. Helps the Crypto with Dinny community grow. And it's awesome, we appreciate it. Have a super day, guys. Thanks for being here. Dinny out. Ignore the scammers in my comments. I'll delete them all when I stop driving. Boom.